One for Peter, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Roberto. No problems, physical problems, mental problems maybe with the players after the game in Kazakhstan, the day off yesterday?
Good afternoon, Peter. Yeah, I was very surprised. I think we got through the game, only maybe a knock on Dries Mertens' ankle in an action late in the game, but he's recovered really well, so everyone looks fresh and everyone looks ready for tomorrow.
Can you tell us about Scotland, the new Scotland? Is there a new Scotland with the new coach now that's since last Saturday?
Yeah, there is. I think we played a friendly, and I think we need to remember that. I think when we faced the Scotland at Hampden, that was a test. They were trying things, they took risks. It was a very open game, and that played in our hands. Tomorrow is going to be a competitive game. Tomorrow is going to be a team that, in a really good moment of confidence, when you score a goal in the last minute, you get the first victory with a new coach, Steve Clarke, a very experienced manager, and they were very impressive. So quickly, everyone knows what they do. They got a clear direction, a team that they're going to be well drilled, very well positioned defensively, and then they got huge pace in the wide areas, really good 1v1 situations. This is a young but very talented Scotland team, so we're going to see a really good game tomorrow.
May we expect many changes in your team? Because you said, for instance, why you chose Castagne, because you need to manage physically 2 games in a week. Can we expect some changes, many changes, or will it depend on fitness today and tomorrow?
Yes, it will depend on today, how the players are, how they've recovered. We're going to have a session where we're going to have a clear indication of how quickly we recovered. As you know, some players, sometimes they need 48 hours to recover, sometimes 72, depending on the moment of the season. But it's not going to be a game of changes for the sake of making changes. It's not. We're going to try to change as little as we can to make sure that we carry on evolving in what we're trying to learn and achieve as a group. And we see Scotland as an essential game. Is a home. We're not going to play at home until October. And that for us puts an extra focus on how important these 3 points at play are.
How are you going to convince your players that Scotland is really a tough opponent? Because they've read the result. Kazakhstan-Scotland was 3-0, and they beat Kazakhstan rather easily.
Probably, I think we know that playing Kazakhstan at home or away is different. I think we are aware that we face the Scotland in a friendly. We all know that. And then we know that this is a Scotland team. They're going to get stronger and better because there's a lot of talent, and it's young talent from players that they had a very good season. Fraser, Bournemouth, end up probably behind Eden Hazard in the biggest amount of assists in the league. We know the threat that these players can get in the final third. Andrew Robertson, the captain, has just won the Champions League. There is a lot of talent in this group. McGregor and McGinn, that is already got promoted to the Premier League. Burke, Forrest has won the treble again this season. So you got winning players, you got a winning mentality, you got a lot of talent, and it's a team that you cannot take lightly because potentially they're going to become a very strong team in Europe.
Hi, Coach.
Hi.
Is there a danger that your players might be already with their mind at their holidays? And will it be difficult, do you think, for you to motivate them for this game?
No. I think if you would ask me this probably a year ago, maybe, it would have been a question mark. I think the standards that the players have set in the camp and in the national team, that doesn't happen. Nobody takes for granted being in the team. Nobody takes for granted being in the Red Devils, and I don't think that's a tough job for me at all.
Hi, Coach. After this game, it will be the start of the transfer period. Are you going to talk with the players that could be on a move this summer to maybe give your advice? Do you think it's important to talk to the players that could be on a move this summer?
Well, I think this is the time of the year that happens. It's not a forceful situation. It's not a difficult or different situation. It's a natural moment where some players are going to move. Some of them already done it, as you well know, and there is a natural understanding that sometimes you can share the thoughts of what could happen with a new move, how could you settle into a new league, but everything goes down about, I always share the same thought. The player needs to speak with a new coach and see what they expect from the players. It's as simple as that, and that creates a very strong relationship that could allow the player to grow into the new chapter. But it is a natural period now that will happen for sure.
Ludo?
Hello, Roberto.
Hi, Ludo.
If you win this game, do you have the feeling that the qualification is already done? Because you have 2 games against San Marino, 18 points, one game against Cyprus at home, 21, and that will do.
But we don't, as you know, Ludo, we don't work in that way. We don't get anything by thinking when you're going to qualify or if you're going to qualify. The only thing we're thinking is being fully ready and fully prepared for tomorrow. We made the Kazakhstan game look easy because of the first 20 minutes. But in the same way, if you don't prepare those 20 minutes well, it would have been a completely different situation. Against Scotland, it's going to be a competitive game for the 90 minutes, I can guarantee you that now. So the focus is in that game. Then we'll see where that takes us. But as you know, this is always the case in a group with 6 teams. You've seen Russia, the results that they had since we faced them. Nobody's dropping points in that fight. You want to just concentrate in the next game and try to get as many points as you can, because you can't take for granted that finishing first is better than second. That's clear.
Questions from Scottish media first, and then we can do the rest. Daarboven.
Hello, Roberto, Scottish Television.
How are you doing?
Have you faced Steve Clarke before as a manager? And even if not, what do you know about him and his strengths? What can you bring to Scotland?
Well, I think Steve Clarke is one of the, I see it as a gentleman of the game. He's got such a large experience playing in big projects, big clubs. I remember facing him as an assistant of Kenny Dalglish, of Zola at West Ham, Mourinho at Chelsea. And then, I'm sure at Newcastle with Ruud Gullit, he's had a real mixture of styles, of big personalities, but then he's found his own method, his own way of working, and he's been very successful. I did suffer his coaching at West Brom. We drew with Everton. It was my first game with Everton at home, and I always been a big admirer in the way that he affects the players to do what they have to do for the team. I think it's a big strength to be able to have a manager that he gets competitive teams and he brings his know-how into a very clear structure with clarity. And I think that's what we're going to see in Scotland. We know the talent is there, and that's going to be used to the maximum, but it's going to be a competitive team, well organized, well structured, and we're going to see this team grow. I'm sure about that.
You were talking about Scotland's strengths. The Belgian public, perhaps some of the Belgian media, would look at the friendly victory at Hampden where it was very comfortable. How much of a different team do you think you'll see under Steve Clarke tomorrow night?
Well, it'll be completely different because, as I say, it's not a friendly. That means that they're not going to be trying things. On that day, on the friendly, Scotland was trying to play in a back 5 for one of the first few games. They were trying to play from the back. It happens. Is the time to do it. Tomorrow we're not going to see that. We're going to see a team that they're going to build on what they did against Cyprus, a team with a real huge pace in the side, players that they can play 1v1. They need very little to get into the opposite side. This is a talented young group of players that they're going to be really strong, very dynamic, and they'll defend very, very well. So it's a completely different game. Same players, similar players, but a completely different meaning and feeling around the game. It's a competitive game.
Okay.
Roberto, you obviously have close family ties with Scotland. Has your wife asked you to go easy?
No, we put a ban at home. We're not speaking about football since we played Kazakhstan, so it's clear. I hope that everyone is very upset when I come back home.
Is she coming to the game?
She will, yeah.
Yeah. In the Scotland
it's not a problem. It's more my father-in-law, obviously.
Is that right? Has he given you a warning?
No.
What's his name?
Ray Thompson.
Ray Thompson.
Yeah.
Will he be in Scotland?
No. I don't think they're going to be travelling for this one.
One more last.
And just obviously, you've got how much did it help to have Sean Maloney, a kind of spy in the camp, having a Scotsman in the group?
No, within obviously, Sean Maloney helps against any opposition. Sean has been a big influence in our way of working, and is a very important person in Belgian football now. So his work is is really strong and very important, whoever we play against, not just Scotland. I think there are no secrets. I think Belgium and Scotland, we share a lot of players in the same league, and there is a lot of understanding of the players. There are not open secrets.
One last on the game, please, and in English.
English,
And
no
on
Spanish.
the game. And on the game.
It's
Yeah.
in Spanish. Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, but it's for international.
If you don't mind, it's not going to be about the game because
It
I've
should
heard
be
a
on
lot of
the
things about the game. Well, tomorrow is going to play Eden Hazard, 102 games. We see the party of the other day. It's the first time it's official after he signed for Real Madrid. I would like to know how Real Madrid makes a good decision and how did Eden make a good decision joining their paths, their way in the future. Thanks.
Well, I think the game against Kazakhstan was probably what you would expect to be a celebration. When there is a celebration, you always got the risk of being distracted. And I think it shows you what Eden Hazard is. He's a player that has got an incredible personality. The focus was about winning. His performance was with no difference with what you've seen in the last 3 years. He's a player on the best moment of his career, at the age of 28, 102 caps, and titles and winning projects in different leagues. I think he's a player that you can build a new project, whatever that is, and without a doubt, this is one of the special signings of this summer. For Real Madrid, he's a phenomenal footballer to get, and for Eden, it couldn't be too many new chapters in his career. He always said that he was feeling at home in London with Chelsea. So probably the only place that he could have gone, it was in a place that he always had the dream of being able to be successful and win titles. So I think it is the perfect fit. Everything has been commanded with an incredible respect in every party, and I think that's the way things should be done. Real example for everyone in Belgium, a player that has been through clubs and he can always come back and be greeted as a hero. And now we all look forward to see how the new chapter at Real Madrid will start.
Okay, thank you. Training is on pitch 1, 15 minutes open.
Thanks.
You.